Hey, today we're going to be doing a video testing tolerances of the most popular 204 inside diameter arrows on the market. We're going to be checking straightness at 3 points on the arrow. We're going to check spine and spine consistency around the shaft. This video is going to be a non-biased video. We are just pulling arrows off the shelf and testing to help you decide which one is the best arrow for you. We're going to do a head-to-head battle of the Victory HLR and the Easton 5.0. These are arguably two of the most popular arrows on the market right now. They're getting all the buzz, all the marketing attention from these companies. Both are claiming that they've got the best tolerances, the best consistency. Let's put these to the test and find out which one comes out on top. Arrow number one, Victory HLR, 236.8. All right, zero run out. Yeah, 14 to 16. We've got about 3 thousandths. About 1 thousandths. 236.8, yeah. 0. Looks like we got about 13 to 15. 2 thousandths. About 3 thousandths, 3.5 thousandths. 236.6. 0. Less than 1. 2 thousandths. About 4 thousandths. 236.8. It's about half of a thousandth, or a little less. 10 to 12. 3 thousandths. 3 thousandths. 236.6. 0. 0 spine. Knock ends, 2 thousandths. About 1 thousandths. 237.0. 0 run out. Got about 19 to 21. About 2 thousandths. 1 thousandth. 237.6. Got about 2 thousandths. 10 to 14. 2 thousandths knock end. 2.5. 236.8. 0. That one's less, that's about a half of a thousandths. 2.5. 7 thousandths. 236.6. 0. 10 to 11.5. 3 thousandths knock. 2 thousandths point. 237.6. 0. 11 to 14. 5.5. 5. 237.4. 0. say 4 to 6, 4 to 7. So 4, 3, arrow 12, 236.6. Got about a thousandths straightness on this one. Yep, 17 to 19, arrow 12. 3 on the knock. 5.5. Easton 5.0s, let's get the weight on all 12 of these. So arrow number 1, 248.4. Easton 5.0, arrow number 1, straightness in the center. 0 run out on straightness. So we're going 43 to 39. About 3 thousandths. Wait, about 2 thousandths. 247.8. 0 run out. So we're gonna go 44.5 to 49.5. 2.5 thousandths. 3 thousandths. 247.0. That one has about 1 thousandths run out, a little less than 1. Call that one 43 to 47, 48. 3, 3, 247.4, 0 run out. $42 to $48. 3. It's weird. These Eastons like have ridges on them. One rotation, it goes up and down multiple times, like the carbon's not uniform around it. About 2.5. 248.2. Half a thousand, like 0.05. We got 35 to 45. It's bouncing up and down too. 5 thousandths total. So just a little over 3 on this end. 246.0. Got about a thousandths. 39 to 43. Got 4. This one's only got about 1 thousandth on the point end. 248.2. 0 run out. We got 37 to 47. 2.5. 2. 247.6. So 0 run out. It's like 38 to 43. About 2. 2. 248.0. Okay, 0 run out. Like 38 to 45. This one's real squirrely. I don't know why. 38. Yeah, 38 to 48. 3.5. About 2. 247.8. Okay, 0 run out. And about 39 to 43. About 4. 3. 247.0. 0 run out. 38 to 46. 2.5. 4. 248.4. 0 run out. 45 to 48. 4. About 1.5 on the point end. All right, we're going to do some really basic durability tests with both of these arrows. First thing we're going to do is shoot them into a 4x4 wood block, trying to simulate that you missed your target, you hit the frame of your target, hit that wood block. Is it going to survive it? I would expect most of these to survive that. Or if you're shooting out in the woods, you miss a 3D and hit a tree. Second test is going to be into a cinder block. That's the ultimate durability test. A lot of these will not survive that, and that's okay. If your arrow doesn't survive it, that's okay. We just want to see what extent we can push these to. Okay, my first shot is going to be the Easton 5.0 into the wood block. I mean, this is pretty basic durability. This is nothing super hard. So looks like it survived it, no problem. Okay, my next shot is going to be the Victory HLR into the wood block. Here again, looks like it survived, no problem. Easton 5.0 into the cinder block. So it definitely smashed that one back into the arrow. Okay, here goes the Victory HLR into the cinder block. Looked like the component came back here. So this arrow, okay, so a quick wrap up on durability. Both of these arrows are going to survive basic impacts. You miss your target, hit the frame of the target, you miss your 3D, hit a tree. Both these arrows are going to stand up to that. These are not the most durable arrows in the world. These are lightweight arrows. They're meant to get you a little bit more speed, allow you to build more FOC into your arrow setup, and still stay at a moderate weight. That's what these guys are designed to do. But they're both going to withstand basic impacts. Hard impacts, neither of them are going to survive. And that just is the give and take when you go to a lightweight carbon, lightweight arrow. They're gonna break if you hit something really hard. There are very few out there that will survive a direct impact with a cinder block, but there are some. Let's go ahead and look back at the spreadsheet now that we've got all this data condensed, and go through it and analyze it and see which of these arrows kind of perform the best. So when we look at weight, grain weight of the arrows, on the Victory HLR, we're only seeing 1 grain variance from lightest to heaviest. On the Easton's 2.4 grains. So very close, but that column goes to the HLR. When we go to spine, the high to low spine, this is one spot where the HLRs really didn't perform very well. we had 336 on the low side and 351 on the high side. So 15 thousandths variance in the spine from high to low. Don't really like to see that, but that's the way it came out. On the Eastons, there was only 313 to 320. So that one would go to Easton. However, it's almost kind of a tie. The Victory, these are supposed to be a 350 spine, average 345. Easton, supposed to be a 340 spine, average 316. So it's kind of hard to give that column to either of them. You've got a big high to low on the Victory, but you've got the Eastons all coming in stiffer than they're supposed to be. So I don't know, I guess kind of call that one a wash. Spine variance around the shaft. This one definitely goes to the HLR. 0019 spine variance on average around the shaft. A perfect arrow to a high of 4 thousandths variance. I mean, that's really good. Easton's not so good. Had as much as 10 thousandths spine variance around one single arrow. Average 006 and total deviation from high to low 007. So you give that column to the HLR. Straightness at center, these were both really good with this. Basically, the HLR, we had one arrow that was out of spec on that, outside of the 001. The Eastons, all of them were in spec. So give that one to the Eastons. Straightness at the knock end, this one is going to go to the HLR as well. Average deviation 0026 compared to the Easton 0063. So that one goes to the HLR. Straightness at the point end, this one is going to go to the Easton. 003 average on the HLR, 0024 to the Easton. One thing that we do want to note is we saw, on the spine variance around the shaft, that one is definitely going to go to the HLR. That's the one where you might have to knock tune your arrows. You might have to spin that knock to get it to get the same dynamic reaction every time that you shoot the arrow. You're going to see a lot more variation on the Easton with that than you are with HLR. The other thing is, we kind of noted this in the video, there were a couple of those Eastons that were weird. I mean, that spine variation was going up and down as you rotated around the shaft. Kind of an odd finding there. If you call spine a wash between these two, because one's lower than it's supposed to be, one has a bigger high to low, I don't know. Pretty hard to say. I'd almost call it a wash between these two arrows. Dig through these, dig through this spreadsheet, dig through this data. Let us know what you think, what your reactions are. All right, so final conclusion. What I would say is these are both great arrows. One thing, Easton is saying with their new Matchgrade that the tolerances are tighter. Didn't really prove to be true on this set of arrows. They were within spec on straightness in the center, but they were 2 thousandths out on the point end, 6 thousandths out on the knock end. Easton is also saying that you're not gonna have to knock tune these arrows because of their process, the way they lay up the carbon. But what we're seeing is there is greater spine variance around the shaft with the Eastons. That does kind of align with what I've seen shooting Eastons in the past, is that you are gonna have to knock tune a couple of those arrows. Definitely not the end of the world, something to be aware of. My big takeaway with the Victory, that high to low on the spine is what I didn't like with that arrow. Everything else tested out pretty good. That high to low spine from a 336 to a 351, you might have to cull a couple arrows within that if you can't get them to shoot with a broadhead. So that would be my takeaway with the HLRs. All right, so our goal here was to just give you a non-biased test. We wanted to take static measurements of these arrows and show you what you're going to get or what you could expect on an average dozen. We just pulled these off the shelf in the back right out of our stock. We didn't hand pick anything. We just made this as fair as possible. Just wanted to give you a side-by-side comparison so that you can make an educated decision when you're deciding on which of these arrows to buy. All the results from these tests will be available. We'll put a link for that spreadsheet. You can go through those results, look at them, analyze them any way that you want, and see what we came up with throughout this test.